All right, guys, welcome back to the Play On podcast. This is Jerry and Jesse, episode 67. A couple things to talk about. Most notably, we're going to talk about the Club World Cup and some of the situations that are going on, as well as there's some interesting news coming out of Chelsea Football Club. But we'll let Jesse get started.
Yeah, recently Chelsea just announced the signings of Joao Pedro and Jamie Gittins are both in agreement. They haven't officially been posted, like officially confirmed, but they're all they're already through. They're just waiting for official confirmation, and they're trying to put both on their Club World Cup squad and for the knockout stages. So, but you
It's
want,
it's weird.
yeah,
Like they have players coming in, but there's no sales going on. The only player that left was Mudryk, and he got banned from football. So I don't know how they're doing it. Eventually, they have to. UEFA has to step in and cook their books and audit them. But even then, it's like I'll give it the Joao Pedro signing, right? He's a striker, but then again, he's not a natural nine. He's a 10.
yeah. It's like I understand. Don't get me wrong, Joe Pedro is a great player. He has good qualities, but he's not the striker they needed. The type of striker that Chelsea are looking for is not Joao Pedro. He doesn't fit that mold. I think he would fit better you know, if it was a different team. But in Chelsea, where he's gonna be a striker and required to score goals, even last year with Brighton, he wasn't like going crazy with goals,
No, he wasn't.
and that's what Chelsea need. And I think again, it's gonna be something that they're gonna be missing and they're gonna require from him. But I don't think he's gonna be able to deliver that, especially with another price tag of what 60 million. It's just not what they want or need.
Yeah, with that money, they could have bought Osimhen and get the striker they need, which is a pure goal scorer. They also, I don't know how many strikers they have. They have so many forwards. They have so many goalkeepers. I have no idea the direction this team is going to.
And again, like we said, left wing FC because they signed another left winger in Jamie Kiddens to join that squad, and it makes no sense because even if you say both like cut it to 50 million for both players, if you just put that 100 million and sign like Gyökeres and Osimhen, their striker forwards or Woos are finally gone, and they have a proven goal scorer that can get them to 25 to 30 goals a season that might carry them over to, say, a Premier League title, a very deep run in Champions League, or even win it. Because, like we said, they have a talented squad.
Yeah.
It's just that it's just, it doesn't fit together. It's just like they're gathering pieces and they're just like figure it out. But sometimes you just gotta not just keep adding to it. You just gotta detract and sometimes pick the right piece for the puzzle.
Yeah. And it's gonna be a difficult situation for everyone because I haven't heard that they stopped pursuing Garnacho. That still might be on the table, and they might get another left winger to add to
Well,
their squad.
there's the rumors are is a swap deal of Nkuku for Garnacho, which solves no problems or resolves anything because sure Nkuku gets off the books, but then you get Garnacho another winger to add to your multiple wingers that you currently have.
Yeah, so we'll see what they do. I still don't get it, dude. Like, I don't think what was Joao Pedro's stats from last year? They couldn't have been that insane. I don't even think he scored 20 goals or 15.
Let me pull it up for you.
Yeah. So it's just these price tags for
In the Premier League, he got 10 goals and 6 assists.
like they're all right numbers, but you would if you're a Premier League club, I would be buying players from outside the Premier League just because there's not that tax on them.
And this is my problem with Premier League fans is that they don't mind a more expensive Premier League player because they think, oh, it's Premier League proven, so we don't have to wait for an adjustment period.
Yeah.
But it's so ridiculous because we've seen it time and time again where players come on from other teams like La Liga, Serie A, and they just like there's no trend or uh accommodation period. They're better than the Premier League players, but
Yeah.
that's what they believe. That's why Mbeumo is worth going or possibly going for 80 million to Man U because they think it's a fair price because he's Premier League proven.
Yeah, because there's a plethora of players that didn't need it. Like Ronaldo, no, not Ronaldo. Um, what was it? Ozil, Alexis Sanchez, Luis Suarez when he came in, he was just scoring off the rip. He didn't have needed adjustment. There's just a bunch of players that are proven. With that money, you could buy them. I'm pretty sure they could buy Lautaro for like 80 million and bring him into that squad, and he'll score as many goals, or even then, just be competing for the top goal scorer. But hey, man, they just keep throwing money. I'm telling you, I'm gonna list myself as a player, and they're gonna find me, dude. I'm gonna hire this marketing team, have them blow me up, and say I scored like 50 goals in the under 21 for like the last 10 games, and I'll get fucking bought for like 10 million.
Well, I think this is just it goes to point that like they're so uneducated Premier League fans because remember when Man City signed Haaland, they were arguing if he was going to be a flop. Remember, there's that famous clip of that one Chelsea fan again saying that he was betting that he wouldn't score 15 goals in the season.
So yeah, it just goes to show you like there's talent outside the Premier League. The Premier League is not all that, and it's being proven in the Champions League. It's being proven outside everywhere. Like there's levels of competition, like Brazilian league. Like right now, like the biggest one is the Brazilian league is competing in the Club World Cup, and they're competing against European clubs, and they're doing a great job at it. So invest into that talent pool.
Yeah, just like today, they just beat Inter Milan, a European powerhouse who was just in the Champions League final 2-0.
Yeah, and then actually that's our segue to the next topic then. Like Inter Milan is imploding. This is gonna be serious, and it's gonna be another like a couple years of Inter Milan just being irrelevant. Remember, Jesse?
Yeah,
So
and
it's gonna happen.
and it and it's crazy because 6 months ago, I, you could have told anyone this and they would have called you delusional, crazy. What drugs are you on? Like it's insane how quickly this downfall has happened, and
Yeah.
it's even crazier because they just replaced Inzaghi with Chivo, a player from their trouble winning squad. But I don't even know how long he lasts because of the current situation because it's so bad. They just didn't make it past round 16 in the Club World Cup.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. It's like this seems to be a cycle for Italian clubs specifically because we saw it with AC Milan where they were the Europeans like best team in the world like for multiple years. Then they went into a huge downfall. Then it was Juventus like winning the Scudetto time and time and time again. And then now like they fell, but they're slowly rising and trying to get back to the level they were. And now it's Inter Milan's time. They've won like what, probably like five out of the past six or seven Scudettos. And now
Uh,
and they've been to two Champions League finals, and now they're kind of crumbling and going back to irrelevancy and like just the struggle again. So this seems to be a pattern for Italian clubs. I don't know why it's doing that thing, but again, the Inter situation could be mixed with the whole financial situation they have going on.
I think this is just a crisis of malmanagement in Italian clubs because as we saw with Inter and Milan, especially in Milan's case where they're changing of owners so many times that they didn't know what direction they were going in. Because I don't know if you remember a couple years ago, there was a transfer window where they literally bought a whole new squad and they were just like it didn't work out because it was a whole new squad. There was no chemistry built up. There's no recognition from play style. And so that's why Milan has struggled. Like it's just a changing of management and constant like turmoil. Because a couple years ago they won the Scudetto and we're like, oh, Milan's finally back. And then they fired Maldini, and everyone's like, what's going on? And then Inter again, they've changing of ownership, and it's like change hands of what's going on. And like this summer, we've seen the firsthand. Inzaghi out, no recruitment that like massive recruitment that we've seen beforehand from Serie A clubs because before they were the ones that were paying the high money to get the prize players to come to them. But that's no longer the case. They have to develop them. And then Juventus, they went through that whole not crisis, but like scandal of
It was something
rem-
again economical.
yeah, a scandal where the whole board basically resigned because they were going to be caught up in a fines, possible jail times, and things like that. The only stable presence, funnily enough, is Napoli, who the owner just has complete control over them and is known to be a hardball player in the transfer market, and it works out for them because they know what they can do and what they can't.
Yes, definitely. But yeah, even more credit to Fluminense because that's the team that won them. So shout out to Thiago Silva, who's over there just holding the back line and still proving that he could still play at the high level, and Chelsea would probably need him. Um,
It's crazy from a 4-year-old still.
yeah, it's impeccable. And then on top of that, you know who's on the bench? And he's not really playing, but it's Ganso. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah, he was the other wonder kid. Him and Neymar were supposed to carry the new generation in Brazil, and it never worked out.
He was actually rated higher than Neymar by a lot of other people. So the kid that never was, I thought he was a little too slow to be playing football, and like because he was in an attacking role. So
Yeah,
I
he
thought
was
he
he
was
was
a
a
cam.
10.
hmm
Yeah.
I thought it was too slow. And again, it was that era where like tens were slowly disappearing and weren't being as useful. But now I think if he were coming up right now, it'll be very useful. Um, but yeah, just again, Brazilian clubs are just going out there and competing. They're competing with Champions League finalists. And yeah, dude, like it's crazy because you would think these European clubs would just roll over them.
Yeah, but it's- again, we see that sometimes people give too much credit to the top teams and say, "Oh, it's a write-off," and
Yeah, it's
it's
not.
yeah.
It's not at all. But yeah, the way I wanted to compare it to is because I think Premier League team, no, not Premier League, European teams would think it would be like the Inter Miami game, like PSG versus Inter Miami. That's the discrepancy between leagues I thought I was gonna see between European and South American slash every other league.
Hmm.
But it's not. It's not at least for the Brazilian league, but for the MLS team like Inter Miami, they were getting steamrolled by PSG.
Yeah, and I think that's just a difference of situations of certain clubs, like the showing the discrepancies of like the top teams, because like uh PSG have mostly rolled over any competition they faced over. Even Atletico Madrid to begin with, they rolled them over 4-0. Man City have completely rolled over any competition they've had. Because even Juventus, who were looking good, got steamrolled by Man City towards the end. So I think it just shows the difference between the top teams and like other top teams.
But just that game in general, like I was watching it at an event with my fiance, and some like if it wasn't Messi getting the ball or Busquets, well Busquets also had a really bad game. If it wasn't Messi getting the ball, other players would not know what to do and they would panic and just instead of clearing the ball, they would try to make a pass and try to force it and they would get robbed. And then even then the physicality of it, some MLS players were not expecting the Europeans, or at least PSG, to be that strong when it comes to physicality. But yeah, there's levels, and that's the level I expected to see from all these European clubs that are we're all always praising, dude. We're always praising them, and some are just not showing it. PSG was one of them. They came out there and said, "All right, we're gonna come here and dominate and show our game." Because right now, I seriously don't know how they lost to Botafogo, and like because PSG to me, like I don't know how they're unbeatable, honestly, but I don't know how they did it. Like I don't know if you saw the game. They're just super fast, fast, fast. Like all right, touch, 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 and there's like before you know it, there's like five PSG players in your box.
I want to say it was multiple factors. I think one was because PSG did rotate that game, but I don't want to just give it and say like, oh, it was just PSG uh, rotating and not taking the game serious. But Botafogo did bring the game. Like I think that's the mentality that MLS clubs and like other teams in the competition don't have. That the Brazilian teams are like, we don't care who you are. We're gonna go in there. We're gonna play football, working to win the game. And it's not a mentality shared by these MLS teams as seen by like if the players without a European like experience weren't there, you could see from the other players that they were resigned to themselves. They're like, okay, we're just here to play a game, try not to get 10 goals scored against me, and then people will probably praise me and I'll be happy with it and then just get back to the regular league where I feel comfortable.
Yeah, it was getting me so mad that like say an Inter Miami player fouled a PSG player. It was like a simple foul, right? He just kind of tripped him up, nothing malicious. the Inter Miami player would go up to him, like even sometimes two at a time, and help him up and apologize. I'm like, dude, it's a knockout game. Push him. Like, don't pay attention to him. Let his teammate pick him up. You don't pick him up. Don't say anything to him. Like, yeah, there was just a mentality thing. Also, I think Inter Miami's again, they just showed too much respect. I'm talking about the younger players, the players that haven't played in those European games, like Messi, Busquets, Jordi Alba, Suarez. But yeah, they were just showing them way too much respect. Like in those games, you just gotta push them and follow them. Like those Brazilian teams, they did not care. They're about to break
Yeah.
Harry Kane's leg yesterday.
Yeah. And that's how it has to be because you can't, if you're going up against a superior competition, you can't just go up there and show them too much respect because if you give them too much space or time or just like willingness for like I don't know how to say it, like just if you're just like in awe of them while you're playing, you're just not gonna get anywhere. You're not gonna be able to get a result against them.
Yeah, definitely. So it was an interesting situation. Yeah, Inter Miami, I knew it, dude. There was just a little hope of like Messi doing something, but at 38 years old, like you can't really expect that out of him.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was a great game from PSG, and I loved it. Second half though, Inter Miami was putting a lot of pressure, but then again, like you said, PSG made rotations because they were up already 4-0.
Yeah. But
Ah,
speaking of another Club World Cup incident, the Benfica Chelsea game.
dude, that game was so boring. I'll tell you that right now.
Not just the game, but the situation that unfolded in like the 89th minute or 80th minute, where they literally stopped play for like 2 hours.
For a thunderstorm warning. And by the time they had put the players in the tunnel with all the like both teams or whatever, all the people from the stadium had to go into shelter. By the time that happened, I think 10 minutes passed already. And that would have been the end of the game if they would have just played it out. But good old United States has their protocols, doesn't let them do that for some reason. They just made a bigger hoorah out of it when there was only like a couple of minutes left. So and what's the interesting part out of that, Jesse? After the 2 hour break,
Yeah, they come back and get a penalty to tie up the game.
and well, Chelsea, luckily they won the game 4-1, but they had to play an extra 30 minutes and risk injury because again, you go back in the tunnel, you're gonna get you're gonna lose your what's it called? You're gonna get cold.
Yeah, you're gonna get cold. Your muscles are gonna tighten up. They're not gonna be loose. You're gonna, you know, it's not good for your body to go cold and then warm up again, especially after a rigorous like 90 minutes, basically a full game already. And then you're gonna go into the tunnel, relax for 2 hours, and then try to warm up again to play another 30 minutes of extra time for a game.
Yeah, and keep in mind they're also playing in like they were playing I think in 90 plus degree weather with
Yeah.
no shade. So those players are dead. And I think a lot of the I think Chelsea specifically they came out and started complaining about that situation. I know a lot of European teams are not happy with the situation. I don't even think it's European. A lot of the clubs are not happy with the situation of like the state of the Club World Cup.
Well, yeah, I think it shows that there's still a lot of questions being asked of the U.S. Handling soccer competitions or just like hosting any FIFA competitions. Because if this happened next year in the World Cup, where scheduling is going to be so much more tighter because there's so many more games going on at the same time, it's going to be a disaster. And even what was it, Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola have publicly called out this competition, saying it's so unnecessary. They don't like the format change. They don't like a lot of things about it.
Oh, Jurgen Klopp went in. He specifically said that people that never played football are organizing this kind of tournament, and it's stupid because they're risking players' injuries, something like that. I'm paraphrasing. And yeah, I agree. Like this tournament should not be held.
Yeah,
And then in 4 years they're gonna have another one.
it makes no sense. It's we've been harping on about it. Like it just the old one was perfectly fine. The old format or even the old competition that it's still being held was perfectly okay. People understood the assignment. It was a couple of days really that you would go compete. win it or lose it, then go back to your regular season. But now we're literally holding like a month-long competition for a Club World Cup that no one wants because it's even showing the viewership because the audience has not been there.
Audience, the stadiums are empty. I think I think the statistic was like there was 1 million seats in total from all the games that were played at the time. They just can't fill up stadiums unless you're Real Madrid, unless you're like the Lionel Messi PSG game that the stadium was filled. Like it's hard to fill them up. Like that Benfica Chelsea game, there was so many empty seats. So
Yeah,
the hype isn't there, dude. Like they weren't traveling. We'll see how it goes with the World Cup because I know like international fans do travel, but still it's still question marks around the whole thing.
yeah, and it's crazy because the where is it? The Gold Cup is going on right now at the same time, and they're every game I've seen from there, their stadiums are filled more than the Club World Cup ones, which is crazy because there's supposedly more star power in this Club World Cup, and yet it's still not bringing in the fans.
Yeah, definitely. So, hey man, we'll see what they do. You know, it's money. Money talks at the end of the day. They'll probably set up another tournament if anything, if they throw more money at it. But yeah, again, it's just too many games. Because like to host this before World Cup year, it's dumb.
Yeah, because there's already so many competitions going on, and now they keep on adding. Summer was supposed to be the safe space for like European teams and like other teams like that to get a break from the season and get ready for next season. But now they're jam-packed. Last year there was a Euro where they had to play basically no break and then continue on to the season, and they were supposed to rest this summer, and then next year their summer was going to be packed with the World Cup. That's not it anymore.
Yeah, I missed the times where it was nothing but what was it for the summer tournaments? It's World Cup, Confederations Cup. Remember that one?
Yeah, it got taken away.
Um, what is it? Euro every 2 years, Copa America
Are,
every like 2 years, but sometimes they would make up a year because confederations got in the way.
well, Euro are both
Oh yeah, wait, Euros? No, Euros every
4 years
4 years. Yeah.
because it's in between the World Cup and
Hmm. But I remember the Copa America was every 2 years. But again, yeah, they would have to make up a year for Confederations Cup if it landed that year, or even the World Cup. But I miss those days. But now it's just competition, competition, competition.
yeah, no break, no. It's over simulation of football because sometimes you just need a break from it. It gets stale, especially for the players because they're playing all year long and there's rough conditions because they're overexerting themselves, especially now in the game where athleticism is so prevalent, where there's more of a requirement really than actual like, football playing, because that's how it's getting geared towards. And it's sort of leaning back more into like being like football players. But now, I mean, recent times it's been like, oh, they want athletes on the pitch. So it's been more burden on their bodies.
Yeah, definitely. But as far as transfer news, we do have a huge one out of Bayern Munich. It looks like they're finally tapping into the Bundesliga and trying to take the top talent. They're gonna take the 20 or the hell I don't even know how old he is, but he's a
He's
star in the
23,
he's 23. He's a star in the Euro under
under
21
21.
competition. I don't even know how to pronounce his name, but he's a fantastic player. He's 6'6" striker, and it looks set to become Harry Kane's replacement in the near future.
Yeah, Nick Woltemald. It's Woltemalde. He plays for Stuttgart, which again, when he does go to Bayern, if he goes, because there's currently a dispute for his transfer price. It's been Stuttgart wants 40, Bayern wants to give 30, but they'll probably work it out soon. Uh, that's a good business for Stuttgart because they got him on a free.
And that'll be the second striker they sell off to a German competitor. Oh no, that's Wolfsburg, right? Does he play for Stuttgart or
Who? Wolfmald?
yeah, Stuttgart, right?
Stuttgart,
Yeah, that'll be the second striker because they sold Gurasi to
Dortmund.
Dortmund and now they're selling another striker to Bayern Munich. And they just seem to be producing strikers, but yeah, he's what is he getting compared to? And I don't like the comparison, but I compare him to Zlatan more because of the again framework, body
Uh,
control, dribbling, and all
uh,
that.
It was I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember his name. Uh, like I
Like,
see him in my head, but I can't remember the name.
oh, Berbatov. I
No.
saw on Twitter people were saying that he's compared to Berbatov. I'm like, no, he's not. Because he's just like so calm on the ball. But no, for me, he's a comparison to Zlatan. Same frame, same control and everything like that.
Yeah, no, that's not who I was thinking of. I can't remember the name. Maybe if I remember later.
But what do you think of the transfer?
I think it's great business by Bayern because when Bayern was at their best is because the best Bundesliga talents, the best young German talents were going to Bayern. They were taking control of them before they were could leave. Some would say they still lost out because Florian Wirtz did go to Liverpool this summer, but listen, you got to take your victories while you can. Getting Woltmalt because he was getting interest from a bunch of Premier League teams. I know Real Madrid were looking into him as well, but getting him now when he's on the cheap because 30, 40 mil at this market, that's very cheap. You, before he goes into maybe like a 70, 80, 100 mil player. But getting him now is very good business, especially because he's young and Harry Kane is in his 30s, so he who knows how many more seasons he has in him.
Definitely. I like the transfer. Chelsea was interested in him. I think they had their eye on him before anyone else, but I'm glad he's not going to that club. Again, they just bought a striker. Do you want another one? So I don't get it. But yeah, I think that would be a perfect place because you're not going to expect Harry Kane to play all those games. Again, they're playing the Club World Cup right now. They have the World Cup coming up next year or next summer. You're gonna have to rotate eventually, and I think it's the perfect guy.
Yeah, and it's a great reference play because uh without Harry Kane they could play a different play style
Mhm.
and it allows Bayern to become more diverse and especially with Michel Olise exploding in this Club World Cup because he's been playing very well with him and Musiala potentially feeding him. I could he could put up some crazy numbers.
Yeah, definitely.
In other news that it's a sad day in the football world because unfortunately Olympique Lyonnais or Lyon from France football has just been relegated to the second division because of financial scrutiny or how would you say it, Jerry?
Again, mismanagement of funds. Not enough
Yeah,
money coming in, a lot of spending. They couldn't keep up, and they got relegated because of it. And they had this warning since the beginning of last season. We talked about it briefly, but it happened. They couldn't put up the money that they needed.
yeah, previously in the especially in January because we're like, oh, all these players are on the cheap, and we kept on harping about, oh, Cherky, people should sign him. He's available for so little, and they still sold him for so little, and yet they still couldn't stay afloat on the top division, and it's all because of their American owner trying to play like if it was an American run business, but no,
Yeah.
this is in Europe, and this is they don't allow teams to run like that, and it's good for them because they don't allow for teams to get away with mismanagement and funds being going to the wrong places, and especially for the situation because there's also the owner also owns multiple other clubs and he was trying to get funds from other clubs to settle debts and then it
Yeah.
just didn't work out.
It's just a sad situation. They got relegated to League Two. I'm pretty sure if they get promoted, that'll be sufficient. Because again, like think about it, Lyon has not been really competing. The last team that competed against PSG in that French league was Lille. But yeah, Lyon just wasn't doing enough. And on top of that, like say it was that like they had players that had hype, like Cherki. Oh my God, I forgot the other midfielder that went to Roma. I forgot his name, but he's in Roma. He's a short guy, but he had a lot of hype, and they weren't accepting any offers. Then they started playing him. He wasn't doing as good, and then his offers didn't come as much, and they couldn't really get much money off of him. So yeah, it's just like really bad management. It sucks to see, especially with a club with such prestige and history in their whole history. just to
Yeah.
go down to the second division just because of financial situations. Because their season wasn't too bad. They made the Europa League semifinal.
Yeah, and it's crazy because 10 years ago they were dominating French football. Like they were winning like I can't remember how many League Ons in a row, and they were just going crazy. They had uh remember him, Juninho, the free kick. He
Yeah.
was there, Benzema, Ben Arfa. There were so many great players playing at the time, and now it's fallen so low. And it's all because of the owner and it's horrible situation. And it's crazy because I wonder what's gonna happen with other players that are on the Lyon squad are gonna stick it out and play in the league on or league second division, or are they gonna transfer away? Because I know there's so a couple of good young players on that squad, like Malik Fofana. He is a winger. He might he might be available on the cheap, similar to Ryan Cherky, and there's other players like that. So if at any time for the scavengers to come would be now.
Yeah, again, players on a free. Fofana is probably the biggest target, and I'm surprised like teams aren't jumping at the occasion because I'm pretty sure Lyon would take any money at this point. Like offer 20 million. Again, 20 million is a lot to us. I'd be happy if I ever got offered 20 million in my life. Um,
Hey, listen, sponsors, 20 million, we'll do almost anything.
we'll do be specific with that, Jesse. Like, what do you mean? Um, but yeah, and yeah, speaking of American owners, like, what's gonna happen to the Crystal Palace, Jesse?
Yeah, Crystal Palace recently announced, well, there was rumors going around that the owner was willing to sell his stake in the club, and it was recently bought by the Jets owner for 245 mil, 254 million. So he's become the primary owner of Crystal Palace now. And for the European fans out there, you might not know this, but that's a horrible thing to happen for you, for the Jets owner to own you, to become owner of your club, because the Jets are, how do I describe this charity?
Oh,
With
they're historically bad, like just bad in general. They signed Aaron Rodgers last year thinking he would do something, and then he tears his ACL.
Achilles
Achilles, he just dies on the field 10 minutes within
of the
playing the
first
first game
game.
of the season. And then he doesn't resign because he causes problems in your squad. So like again, this is probably even deeper than the actual management, but they cater towards that kind of chaos and they're not, I would say they're gullible. They got money, they got more money than me, but they're not the best owners.
Yeah, and especially now because you're just on a high. You just won the FA Cup. You can be playing in European competition, but you know what? They might also just sell your best players for money. Because think about it, all the interest for Adam Morton, Evriche Eze, Mateta, Guehi, Munoz from the right wing back, who had an incredible season and is very underrated. He might just sell all of them for profit and then not get anyone to replace him just because you know what? That's not his prerogative.
Yeah, I don't really know. And plus, like the essay, the Mateta, I kind of already expected them to leave just because essay again being linked to everyone in the world. I think at one point he was like almost set to join Tottenham. Um, I'm expecting him to leave already, even before the Jets owners situation. But what are they gonna do with that money? We've seen Todd Boyle or whatever the hell his name is from Chelsea do with his money, and he's just spending it on left wingers and strikers and goalkeepers.
And not the good ones.
Yeah, again, Jurgen Klopp said it, like people that have never played football are being in charge of teams and like sports and tournaments that shouldn't be. Like, it's cool if you want to invest in it, but get an advisor and have someone else make those decisions because clearly these American owners have not made the best decisions.
Yeah, let the football people make the football decisions. Like me, call me up. I'll Crystal Palace fans, if you hire me as your GM or your president of football operations, I'll take you to new heights. Trust me. I've
Take
been
you to
scouting since my career mode days.
That is true. But yeah, there's an eye to it. Again, not every player like there's hype. Like Joao Felix is the perfect example. Hype player, went for a lot of money, picked the worst club to go to. Again, I think if it was a different situation, he could have gone to another club and he would have succeeded. Again, you can't just buy talent. You got to buy the talent that's going to succeed in your club and just be a plug and play kind of guy.
Well, yeah, it's just another fault of Chelsea. Dude, they signed him for what last season for no reason. Another left winger. Then they mid-season they gave up on him, loaned him out to Milan. Didn't work out there. Now they're trying to sell him. It's just a horrible situation.
Yeah, you can't get enough of it, dude. But
Uh,
what else can you do?
yeah. In other news, there's recent talks of Messi's ongoing contract situation with Inter Miami.
Yes, there was rumors earlier today, what is it, June 30th, that Messi wants to play at least in January and those within those 6 months before the World Cup. He wants to play in a European team or a high level team to get ready for that World Cup. Romano later today in the evening announced that Messi and Inter Miami are working out a deal to extend his contract. But that's all he pretty much said. Um, does that contract extension include something like a loan that we've seen before from MLS teams to a European team for 6 months?
Yeah,
Maybe.
like David Beckham as a prime example when he would go out to AC Milan to, be ready for European or for major European nat like international competitions.
Yes, definitely. So that's going on right now. It's interesting. I hope he comes back to Barcelona. That'll be cool to have one last dance and say goodbye. But again, I don't honestly, in all honesty, I don't think he's gonna come back to Barcelona because if that is the situation, I don't think they're gonna just okay, Messi's here, you're starting instantly.
Yeah, and especially because I don't see how he would fit into the current Barca squad. And if he were to come back, I think it would just impede Lamine Yamal's growth, which I don't think is the best interest for Barcelona as a
I
club.
I think he would fit, but again, it's like it's that thing. Like say you know how say Barcelona again, they're having a good season, they're competing against Madrid and Atletico Madrid. You can't just put Messi in just to fan service sometimes, especially if he's gonna hurt the club. Again, it's Messi. He might work out and you could just plug and play him, but again, it's a very tough situation. I don't know if it'll happen. I, in my honest opinion, I think he's just gonna stay in MLS.
Yeah. But it's like we were saying previously, a lot of players are looking at next year's summer with the World Cup coming up, and they're trying to get ready to be able to be in the best form possible. And also, like if that's not available at their club, they're going to be making a lot of moves this summer and January. They might force some moves.
Yeah, so there's gonna be a lot of that. Again, the one I'm concerned about, we kind of talked about it, the
Okay.
striker, Bayern Munich just signed Stuttgart guy.
hmm
It's gonna be interesting if he does go to Bayern Munich because again, Germany needs a striker. He's a striker. Is that the best situation for you to go to World Cup? To, and are you gonna earn the minutes? Are you gonna show that you can play in the World Cup? So it's interesting.
Yeah. In other news, Cristiano Ronaldo has recently signed his new contract with Al Nassr. He is staying there for another further 2 years, and it's also been reported that the amount is it's crazy. It's reported that he will be making 400 million per year, and it's not dollars. I believe it's euros, so it's a little bit more than that. So maybe like I think maybe 400, like close to 450 per year. So it's what was it? He's making 1.2 a day.
That's an insane contract. Yeah. Shout out to him. He clearly got it. Again, well deserved. He's trying to bring the sport up in Saudi. Well, that money is unbelievable. Would that be the highest contract ever?
Uh, I
Because you
think
said
so.
400 million for 2 years.
No, per that's 1 year. That's what he gets 1 year. So in 2 years is double that.
Jesus.
400 million euros or whatever. I just know it wasn't dollars. It was worth more.
My boy has generational wealth at this point, like generational on top of generational.
It's insane. And you know what's crazier? That's not even the biggest contract that the Saudis have offered.
It's not. It's not. So,
The biggest one they've offered that I saw on record that wasn't rumors that was officially confirmed was Tiger Woods. They offered him like a billion something.
a wash Tiger Woods on top of that. So it's incredible. Like, hey, boys, if you guys want to invest in a sport and you guys want to do something to grow up and make money, soccer's the wave. Because 400 million a year is crazy.
But I'm telling you right now, as soon as I get a kid, I'm getting Project Ronaldo started.
Project Ronaldo, Project Mbappe, instantly, dude. Oh my God. But yeah,
Dude, dude, just give me a day, Ronaldo. One day of your salary. That's it.
I mean, dude, let me know, dude. I'll clean your boots, Ronaldo. My rate is 100K a year.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so well, again, we're gonna play this game again and see if we go 9 for 9. We've had some duds. Um, let's go. We're going back to grid. Hold up, let me just pull it up. I keep bringing up the wrong thing. Jesse, I think this one might be easier. I took a glance at it. Um, hopefully we don't screw this up. But yeah, let's get started. So, top row is Man City, Brazil, and European nationality. Left rows are AC Milan, PSV, and Barcelona.
First row, Robinho.
Robinho, AC Milan, Man City, Robinho. How the hell do you even spell his name?
Is it H-O?
That one, right? Robinho, yeah, Robson de Souza. De Souza. AC Milan, Brazil. You can go a couple ways here. There's a couple of them. I'll go Cafu. Oh my God.
I was about to say, is that the right one?
Okay, it is,
Oh,
thankfully.
oh,
No, I didn't know there was so many
oh
Cafus.
man. Oh, that scared me.
AC Milan, any European nationality. Jesse, just give me one.
Shevchenko?
Okay,
Just
dude, you picked the hardest name to spell. How do
yes.
you even spell Shevchenko?
Uh,
It's an S.
let's just go Maldini, Maldini. Keep it simple, keep it
Okay.
simple, keep it simple.
Paolo Daniel. It doesn't matter. Okay, PSV Man City. I'm trying to think here. I can't come up with, and not right away. I'll maybe come
We'll,
up with someone.
we'll come up with something later. Man City, Barca,
Man City, Gundogan.
Ferran
Gundogan.
Torres.
Let's do Ferran Torres. He's a little bit more out there compared to Gundogan. 11%. Barcelona, Brazilian. Take your pick, dude. Should I just go Douglas? Yeah, there's Brazilian thing. I'll just put Neymar.
Uh,
Brazilian European nationality. Oh my God, I wonder who could it be. Um,
Here you
I-
can picture.
I'm just putting Iniesta. What's the right back's name? Alexis. Oh my God. He used to play. And they went to Sevilla, then Celta.
Ramirez.
No. It used to be Charlie's guy. He used to nutmeg everyone. PSV Brazilian, the most famous one, Jesse.
Oh, I thought you were talking about European nationality.
Oh yeah, that was something else, yeah. But
Oh,
now PSV and Brazil. You have to pick the most famous one. And it's easy.
right
And
back.
no, it's a striker.
Oh, dude, I'm still thinking of right backs. I'm tweaking. Oh yeah, R9. Dude, I was like right back, right back.
No.
I was tweaking.
PSV European nationality.
Bakali. Oh wait, he was Belgium, but is he? But he
Yes.
still count?
Yeah, it's still part of the European Union. 0.2%. Let's go. And now the last one, PSV Man City. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head.
Right,
Instantly, oh, I can't even think of anyone that's in the Netherlands.
Reiters, but he was in Akmar.
Yeah, he
But
was in
before that,
Alkmaar.
was it in PSV?
I I don't want to take the chance because I don't really know or be certain about this. Um,
Oh no,
P
are we gonna on the last one? No, not the
I
last
know,
one.
dude. I thought this was gonna be an easy one, but this one's the one that's stumping me. Let's see. Is there any current ones? There's Jeremy Doku. No, he played in Rennes. Mm, Jack Grealish. No, never leaves your England. Guardiol. No, he came from what is it? A Red Bull
Le
team.
Leipzig. German one.
Mm, oh my God. Is it a goalkeeper? No, Ederson. No,
It's not Joe Hart.
it's not Joe Hart. He went to Celtic and a couple other English teams as well.
Are we gonna have to go with Reinders?
Oh my God. But I name players that are from Holland or Netherlands other than Reiners. Because Reiners is recent. De Bruyne? No. Chelsea, Wolfsburg, Man City. That was him. Would Robinho be in? No, right?
No, he went to Madrid and then Man City and then AC Milan and then
Everywhere else. But
yeah.
here. Um, God, I wish there was a hint button. Tap on
Uh,
logo. Tap on the logo or category for help. Should I do it?
sure.
Well, it's doesn't really give me much, but um,
Um,
Malasia, no, he plays for. Oh my God, I guess we'll just go Reiners. I don't want to get stumped on.
but I don't think so because I know he went to AC Milan from Akmar, but maybe. But there's like no one else.
All right, before I lock it in, anyone else you're thinking of?
No,
No.
I was thinking no, maybe company, but no, that was he was Belgium. He came from
What about Wilfred Boney? No, right?
no.
I'm just thinking of technical players because normally players that go to the Netherlands are technical. David Silva, no. Not Michael Richards. Willy Caballero, no.
Yeah, no, I can't. I got no
All right,
one.
we gotta go. I know it's gonna be wrong. Who is
Fuck.
it? 245 score. So there's seven players.
Well, let's see.
DeMarcus Beasley, isn't that the U.S. international?
Sinchenko. I guess that's the only one we could have gone for, but I didn't even know that.
Angelino.
I forgot he played for Man City.
Me too.
Fuck. Another one. Another time we don't get it,
Yeah,
Jerry.
Angelino was a tough one because he only played 21 matches. I had no idea Zinchenko played for
Same, yeah, I didn't even
BC.
think about it. That was probably the bait when I bet you people are gonna be in the comments. Yeah, Sinchenko. Shut up.
All right, guys. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the podcast. Um, Bulls fans out there, we feel you. We are not in the best spot. They got rid of our best team we've had in years, and we got no draft picks out of it. Hey, but if anything, Jesse, I have your boy. I packed your boy,
Carreras.
but he's still not a Real Madrid player.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Any last words?
I hope Real Madrid signs a new center back. I hope we get another midfielder. Oh, and Nico Paz is staying at Como officially.
That's a good move for him. Continue developing. You'll get there.
And I hope Chicago sports makes a turnaround in the next year because it's too depressing, man. I don't know what to do.
All right, guys, we'll leave you with that depressing note. Peace.
Peace.